I take that ethos and that reality that I learned, and I've developed an entire curriculum around it that I teach in schools.
Mm. Mhm.
And I teach it with, so that's, if you're interested in that, you can go to bluesalivenyc.com and you can learn about what we do in New York City schools. I'm going to start teaching and consulting for the Newport Jazz Festival for their education initiative. We're going up there in a couple of weeks to start teaching there. I taught at various private schools. We've put together a presentation, we're submitted for approval at Lincoln Center, at the Kennedy Center, at the August Wilson African American Cultural Center in Pittsburgh. So these are all places that I've made proposals to just in the last couple of weeks, and I'm hoping to collaborate with all these entities to bring my vision and my curriculum and some of the top um, musicians in the world to bring into these institutions to collaborate with these students.
Are these collaborations and proposals, are they eligible for grants?
Yes.
Mm.
So the short story is that is the when you do what I do in a teaching context, you're open up to a completely different set of um, funding, or it's a different environment than just trying to get gigs and play at festivals, right? It works hand in hand with that. But what we do, is completely different. We don't go and do like um, we do coach ensembles, but we coach them with the curriculum that I've written.
Mhm.
So what we go is we go into these environments. We go to schools, or we go to an institution, and students come to us, and we're essentially social studies teachers who happen to be musicians.
Mm.
So it's not your typical thing where we go to a school. This is what a saxophone looks like. Isn't this so interesting? And then we go and play music for them. We don't do that at all. That's a
Mm.
model that I completely reject. I've taken a new model, built it from the ground up, where we go in and we talk about the ancestral tradition of teaching. We talk about call and response. We talk about the oral tradition. We demonstrate it on instruments that I've collected from throughout the world. So it's the key to what we do is the people that I'm working with. It's myself, it's Myra Casales, the wonderful Cuban conga master. It's Avery Sharp, the legendary bassist, and it's Juma Sultan, who is Jimi Hendrix's conga player. Now, Juma and I have put together this entity out of our work with our band, the Griots Speak. So it's all about a pan ancestral. It's about taking a different style of learning that's not really used in today's arts institutions or in schools. And what I do is I curate that experience for these institutions. Basically, the way I learned, right? I learned through mentorship and apprenticeship. I didn't go to school for music. So I'm taking that which I learned, and I found a way to collaborate with these wonderful older masters and collaborate with students in their own environment.
So are the students learning mostly history and social studies, or are they getting introduced to music as well?
We use music as a tool to communicate.
Mm. Mm.
It's a completely different experience and a completely different model of doing this than I've been engaged in the past, where we're actually going into their classroom. We're meeting the students exactly where they are, because that's the best way to amplify and highlight their voices rather than us being on a stage telling them something. We're
Mhm.
going in the classroom, standing in the same room that they stand in all day, and
Mhm.
we're this it's hard work. It's hard work. It takes a lot of elbow grease. It takes a very special educator and a special griot, a special elder to do it this way. Um,
So you just the griots just visit them one day, right? Just one day. And how long is that session?
We do a class period.
Okay, which is about an hour and a half or not
No,
even
just like
that.
40 minutes.
Oh, that's very little.
It's
But
short. Yeah,
mm,
we found a way to navigate the way schools operate in order to deliver this message,
mhm,
right? So I want it designed in a way that we show up and we offer something special in the course of their day, right? It's not about bringing them out to the assembly room and having 200 students there and then we lecture to them and demonstrate. It's not like that. It's almost as it's kind of like the way that for elementary school students, like the art teacher travels around to different classrooms,
mhm.
almost like that.
Do you stay at one school or do you move to other schools all the time? What is the whole curriculum like?
We usually do a different school every day.
Mm,
So it's a lot of waking up early. I wake up at 5, get in the car,
mhm,
go pick up Juma, drive out an hour to out in Queens somewhere, out in Staten Island, out in the Bronx somewhere. You know what I mean? It's carry all the instruments in. It's logistically, there's, it's not logistically easy to do this sort of thing, right? So it
mhm,
requires a person who's very committed to this message.
mhm.
These people are elders. They're much older, so there's a certain logistic, but that's what I'm good at. I'm good at logistic things. I'm good at planning and executing complex. It's almost like you're on tour, traveling the country,
Mhm.
you know, but we're just here in the neighborhood.